It is 1 o'clock in the morning. This is take 3 on this stupid video. And if this doesn't work out, then I'm just going to stop. My phone's data actually, or not data, the storage filled up and it cut my last video off, which was almost perfect, and I was within a minute of ending it, and it just... So here we go again. I've been doing the ketogenic diet for just under a year. A couple years ago I was 300 pounds. I'm now 183 pounds. Today, I found a photo of myself weighing 300 pounds, and I put it side by side with a photo of myself from today. And it was the first, huge, moment that I had. Holy cow, I can't believe how big I was. And the weird thing is I didn't even notice it at the time. I mean, I knew I was big, but I didn't realize, Jesus, that guy is huge. I was huge. Now, there's people that are way bigger than that. And there are people that are smaller than that. They're going to be trying to do the ketogenic diet. I'm not judging, man. I was big too. I've got, I have my issues. I still have a food problem. I don't think I could just go to eating a regular diet and be okay with it. I got big for a reason. I got big because I couldn't control my eating habits because sugar was more important than health. So what I wanted to do is, when I posted that, the reason I'm up now is because I'm kind of emotionally overwhelmed. I got a lot of positive feedback. So many people telling me how good I looked, and these are not words that I'm used to hearing in my life. Do you understand? How good I looked, and wow, I'm so proud of you, and keep going, and all of this stuff, and thank you. And then something even more miraculous happened. People started messaging me and asking me if I could help coach them. Now, I'm very nervous about that. It seems like an awful lot of responsibility. I'm not a professional. I'm not an expert. I don't have a whole hell of a lot of free time, so I don't know if I'd feel morally okay with trying to charge somebody for it. So I'm hesitant. So I thought, well, maybe I'll make a quick video kind of talking about how to get into keto and how to stay into keto, and some tips and tricks along the way that have been useful for me. So here we go. First piece of advice, I've got a little practice with this, so I'm going to try to run through this a little quicker this time. First piece of advice is to go ahead and get yourself a blood work, full blood panel. I'm talking your lipids, your thyroid, your liver enzymes, your hormonal balance. Get a complete baseline from your doctor, and then get that checked every 60 days. You want to know where you're at with your cholesterol. You want to know where you're at with your kidneys and your liver function. You want to know where your thyroid is at. You want to know where your hormones are at, because this diet is going to change those numbers. And we need to make sure that we're critiquing the diet for your biology to make sure that it's changing them for the better. Now, critiquing it sounds complicated. It's not. We're talking about changing one little aspect of your diet if something's going askew. It's not a big deal. Secondly, make sure you've got electrolytes on hand. You're going to need salt, potassium, and magnesium. I take 2 magnesium malate pills a day, one in the morning and one at night. I take 3 potassium at a minimum at 550 milligrams each, or 99 usable milligrams. I also supplement other forms of potassium via Propel Fitness water and things like this. I'm not a purist. I'm okay with taking in artificial sweeteners as long as they're in very controlled, limited doses. And at the very beginning of a ketogenic diet, your body is going to be much more forgiving because you're going from being a high carb, whatever horrible diet that we're eating. Even if it's a normal diet, most of us aren't very good at it. That's why we're watching this video right now, right? We've tried things and they've failed. I did. We try to eat healthy and we end up overdoing on the things, whatever your vice is, be it the cheeses or the sugars or the salts, whatever it is. Somewhere you're overdoing it somewhere, right? Maybe you've got a medical issue, and let me just preface all of this from this point forward. If you have a medical issue, please do not listen to my advice. Go seek medical professionals. I do not want to be responsible for harming you. That is not the intention of this video. I'm not an expert. I'm not a medical professional. I made my own sets of mistakes. I'll probably continue to make sets of mistakes. As narcissistic as I can sometimes be as a person, I have my flaws, and it's important to me that this video be honest. And so take everything I say with caution, verify the information, all that fun jazz. So electrolytes, what happens is your kidneys are no longer told to retain the electrolytes, so they just start spewing them out. So you're going to need to make sure that you're giving your body a steady dose of salt, magnesium, potassium, so that it's able to continuously use what it can, because as soon as it reaches the end of the line, it's gone. It's not going to get rerouted and stored. It's not going to get rerouted and ran through the system. It's not going to do any of that stuff. It's going to just get flushed out. It'll also help you with your withdrawal symptoms when you first start, because your body's going to throw a fit. It's going to demand carbs. You're going to keep telling it no. It's going to get really tired because it doesn't know where else to get its energy, and then it's going to go, well, fine, I guess I'll just use this fat over here. And once that process starts happening, everything gets easier day after day after day after day. The next piece of advice I have for you is to keep your diet simple, guys. Don't get confused and sucked in with all these people posting these complicated or even simple recipes for different weird foods. And for the love of God, please don't start chasing your bad habits. I saw somebody post something today. There's a thing called fat bombs that people like. And they're like chocolate chip cookie dough fat bombs. I'm making these. And I'm like, look, we are all overweight. We, most of us, made very poor decisions that led us here. For me, it was sugar. Sugars have been my issue. I'm not a huge bread guy. I'm not a huge chip guy, although I love chips and bread, of course. Well, I'm a huge sugar guy. Sugar was hands down my vice. And so when I see something like chocolate chip cookie dough fat bombs, the fat kid in me goes, yeah. There's the food addiction right there. You're nurturing the food addiction. You are not helping yourself by making those things. You are not helping yourself by entertaining making those things. Those are off your diet. Keep it simple. Eggs, bacon, almonds, macadamia nuts, beef, ground, pork chops. Pick a piece of meat. Simple vegetables. You don't need to go crazy. Broccoli is adequate. Just eat broccoli, cauliflower, cruciferous greens. Just get it in there. Keep it freaking simple. Don't go crazy. I would also tell people to be very cautious of the butter and MCT oil. Say what you want. I've tested it on myself. I've got the blood work to prove it. And there are now scientific studies which recently came out which also back out what I've already demonstrated myself through blood work. And that is that saturated fats, which is predominantly what butter and MCT oil are, will increase your bad cholesterol. I don't care what keto experts, this is the only time I'll take a hard stand. I don't care what keto experts are out there. I don't care what they say. I don't care what kind of bro science they want to appeal to. Oh, well, I'm losing weight and my cholesterol's fine. Good for you. If you consume too much saturated fat, your LDL will rise. Plain and simple. So be cautious with the saturated fats. Of course your goal is to consume fats. And don't be terrified like, oh my God, I got 20 saturated fat. Look, you're not in a danger zone at 20 saturated fat. But if you're going through every day consuming 50, 60 saturated fat, that's a lot of saturated fat. So just always focus on keeping that number low. The monounsaturated, that can go up a little bit. That's fine. That'll raise your HDL. That's the good one to raise. You want that shit raised up. Make sure that you're getting those macadamia nuts and almonds. Those are great for saturated, unsaturated fats. Eat the hell out of those. At the very beginning, don't focus so much on your macros. Don't get overwhelmed by it. Definitely track your food so you know what's going on with your body and you can look back and reference and, kind of check trends. I use MyFitnessPal. Use whatever the hell you want. MyFitnessPal isn't perfect. None of them are perfect. You got to pay really close attention when you're entering meals to the portion sizes. For instance, there was a slice of cheese that I had, a half of a slice of cheese that I had on a 3.5 ounce burger today. That was my dinner. 3.5 ounce burger with a half a slice of thin cheese on it. And I put the cheese in there and it said 36 gram or 32 grams, 3 slices. And I was like, oh no, only 1 slice. And then at 0.5 servings, right? That's what I was going to do. I went to 1 slice and I almost didn't catch it, even though I've been doing this for almost a year. It said 32 ounces still. So just cautious, pay close attention to that particular stuff. But don't worry about your numbers too terribly much. You know why? Your body is going to be so forgiving at the beginning. So just cut the carbs. That's all you got to focus on. Cut the carbs, eat plenty of fat. Cut the carbs, eat plenty of fat. That's all I want you to worry about at the beginning. Once you start feeling like you're getting into ketosis, then focus on those macros. And I'll dive into what to look at more in detail for those later. Maybe in another video. Maybe I'll turn this into a series. I don't know. What else? What else can I offer you guys as some advice? So, we got the electrolytes in. We got the keep it simple. Avoid the complicated foods and avoid reinforcing the bad behaviors by eating healthy versions of unhealthy foods. Watch out for the type of fat you're taking in. We got that. What else should we... Blood work we covered. Good. I covered all the types of food. Geez, I'm not sure what else to talk. What do I talk about now? Do I have any more information to give you that'll be kind of helpful tricks? Diet cheats. I'm going to cover that real quick, especially for those of you who are already in ketosis and are kind of having some troubles. Sometimes having what they call a refeed or a cheat. I don't like calling them cheats because cheats are allowed in my diet, so it's part of my way of eating. I'll go into detail on that in a few seconds. Can be very useful to help get you shaken loose from a plateau. In fact, I found them to be instrumental in shaking me from a plateau, either cheating directly or indirectly. What I mean by that is I'll either have a meal where I'm just, fuck it, I'm going to have a ham and cheese sandwich and buy a bag of Doritos and eat that for this meal. That's my dinner. Yeah. I don't really do that too much. Normally what I'll do is pizza or something like that. But another thing you can do is have a really heavy food day. Just eat a lot of food. Takes some effort when you're in keto to eat a lot of food. Your appetite is going to go down low to the ground. That'll take a little bit of time, but that's the magical part about the diet is your appetite goes down. The fats and proteins are so satiating that you'll find yourself eating 800 calories in a day and having to literally force 300 of some of those calories. I've had days where I've consumed 700 calories, been fine, went into a 14 to 18 hour fast the next day, and broke the fast, and I'd never really go over 1,200 calories. I experiment when I hit a plateau and I'll bang up over 2,000 calories. Just put a heavy calorie day in there. Eat a bunch of extra nuts, a bunch of extra fat, a bunch of extra protein. I don't worry about the protein turning into glucose too much. Yeah, it's going to bump me out of ketose. Whatever. I have eating windows, something I highly recommend. Not for the beginning, but for once you're well in. That's what we're talking about now. My eating window is roughly 6 p.m. is the ending of the window. And so from 6 p.m. all the way through until about 10 a.m. Ish ballpark. Sometimes it'll be 5 p.m. Sometimes it'll be 12 p.m. Anywhere from a 14 to 18-ish hour window, I will fast. And everything in between where I get my calories comes in between there. And I've found that if I have a really big, heavy day followed by a really light day or a complete fasting day, that can shake me loose from a weight that I've been stuck at for a while. Another thing that helps, like I said, is just a complete refeed. Just load your body full of carbs and then go back onto the diet. But I warn you, if you haven't done a cheat before or you haven't done anything like that before, that is a slippery slope. So exercise a lot of caution doing that if you're gonna. The other thing you can do is play around with your macros. Identify maybe something you can change in there. That's hard to be specific without having somebody giving me specifics. So, but that can help shake you loose from a plateau. Man, I don't know that I have a whole lot more advice. It's a 15-minute video already. If you've stuck with me this long, then I absolutely love you. Thank you very much. When I started this diet, I only succeeded because there were people that existed out there, probably just like you, just like me for sure, who were there putting their hands behind them and pulling people up with them. And now I'm up here with them. I've lost the weight. I'm lean. I've got muscles. Things are looking good now. I'm not great. I don't feel like my body's perfect at all. I got a lot of work to do. I'm working out. I'm trying to develop my physique back and get muscle back. I do what I can. But I'm at the end of my weight loss journey. I'm actually trying to add mass now. I'm not so concerned about getting down 10 more pounds. I'm at like 20%, 19% body fat now. Well, that's probably not true. I'm actually probably more like 20 to 22% body fat right now, based on the numbers, roughly estimated, which is a healthy range. I'm in the healthy range. I feel great, but I'm not happy with my physique. So I got new focus, and I'm still using keto to do it, and it works. But yeah, so I wouldn't have succeeded without those people. And now I find myself with my hand in front of me still being pulled by others, and my hand behind me pulling others up. And the thing I like the most is helping other people. I really enjoy posting a video inspiring others. I like inspiring. I don't know how much I like coaching. That's why I'm doing this right now. This is kind of practice, I guess. I don't know. But I guess I just wanted to send out a giant blanket thank you to everybody out there who's ever been an inspiration, whether you meant to or not, who's ever said a kind word to somebody who was trying to do the right thing, who's ever taken the extra moment to just like a post by somebody in a keto group or in a diet group or anything like that. Those little things, when it comes from enough people, all add up. Just like today when people kept on saying, "Oh man, you're looking good." And I was 300 pounds a couple of years ago. You want to take a wild guess how many times people looked at me and said, "Man, you look good," and meant it? You want to know how hurtful it is to hear, "Man, you look good," when you know they're fucking lying? And it's not that they're being malicious. They don't mean to be malicious. They're trying to be nice. You can't hate them for it. It's you. You are your best friend and your worst enemy. If you go and you look in the mirror right now, in fact, I demand that you look in the mirror after this video. If you've stuck with me this long, the least you can do is follow one request. Go look in the mirror and come to the understanding that you're looking at the person who is responsible for every single success and failure that you experience in life. Circumstances are what you make of them. But it still takes effort. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be healthy. But those things don't just come automatically. It took you time to become a large person. And yeah, it takes time to become a smaller person. But not as much. And you know what? It doesn't even take the same level of consistency. At least for me, I consistently made poor decisions over the course of years to become a big guy. And then I was happy with being a big guy until I wasn't. And it took me a year to become a smaller guy again. That's all. Seems overwhelming when you're looking back, and you go, "Geez, I'm 298 pounds and I want to be 198 pounds. How will I ever lose 100 pounds?" Dude, you will. Girl, you will. Look in the mirror. You will. You will. Just recognize that that person that's staring right back at you is your greatest ally. You need to be there for you. And you need to understand that you're worth putting in this kind of effort for. And you need to question yourself and all of your motives whenever you start making poor decisions. Don't beat yourself up. Have the courage to forgive yourself for a poor decision. What's important if you fall off of this is that you keep your fall off as short as possible and you get back on. So that's it. That's all I got for you guys. It's a 20-minute video. I need to go to sleep. I got to wake up in 4 hours. I love you for watching up to here. Thank you so much. I believe in every single one of you. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, feel free to comment below. I will do my best to respond. I'll see you guys out there, man. Keep calm, keto on. Thanks for watching.